What up? What up? What up, world? I'm Classic Mike, and this is the Get Right Fantasy Network. This is our Week 13 Sunday morning show. Really excited to be here. As you can see in my background, I got Giants Legacy stuff up. Today is a Giants Legacy game, so I wanted to put that up in the background. Really, really into it as as Tony Clark goes. Commanders win today. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to be answering your start sit questions throughout the show, so make sure you guys throw those in the live chat as we go. What's going on, Jonathan Smith, and of course Tony Clark. So make sure you guys throw your questions in as we go, and I'll answer them as we go throughout the show. I'm going to give you guys some news and notes that have been going on since at least the last time we were here on Friday, going over actives and inactives at 11:30, and then of course we're going to be going over our DFS value picks. So we will do that a little bit later in the show. All righty. We got Worm in the house saying, good luck, Mikey. Yeah, me and him are facing each other today, so it should be a good matchup. I'm excited about that one. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. Right now, we have a good matchup. I'm ahead only by a little bit, but Josh Allen didn't do what he should have. So Jonathan Smith goes, can I ask you about my DFS lineup I have for the week and see if you like it? Sure. Yeah, we can go over it in a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit later if we can. Tony Clark going, I'm liking Logan Thomas today. Unfortunately, I am too. He is a quarterback or a tight end sleeper that I like very much, in the late windows. All right. So let me just get through a couple of my fun reads and then we will get right into everything that we need to talk about. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go right into the news and notes. We got a lot of players that are going to be out today. We know about Kadarius Toney. We know Mike Williams. Corey Lindsey, the center for the Chargers, will be out today. Elijah Mitchell is going to be out probably for the rest of at least the fantasy season. Aaron Donald will be out today. Matthew Stafford thrown on IR. Not looking good for Cooper Kupp coming back either. It just feels that way. Danico Autry for the Tennessee Titans. He will be out today as well. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he is out. That is significant for the Eagles in their nickel situation. So is Avery Mannix. He's going to be out as well. Robert Quinn on the pass rush side for the Eagles will be out. David Njoku will be out today. That's a big loss for the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson coming back today. Brandon Cooks will be out today for the Texans. Derek Singley will be out as well. Also, David Bakhtiari will be out today he's not going to be there to protect Aaron Rodgers' finger and ribs. A few other news and notes to discuss in here. Oh, well, Tony Pollard, thank you for reminding me. We only are 3 people away from 600 subscribers. So please make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show as we put right here. If you don't see your comment, it's because we have the subscriber mode on due to spam bots. We've been having them a little too much lately. So please subscribe to ask your question and comment in the chat. We will make sure to get to all of you as we go. All right, first bit of news other than the people that have been out. Deebo Samuel is looking questionable for today with a deep thigh bruise. He plans to play today. It is a 4:00 game. So unfortunately, you're going to have some type of backup just in case. Barring any pregame setback, he should be playing today. Jamar Chase is expected to play today. And from what I keep reading from everywhere I keep seeing, he is going to play his full snaps. He will not be limited. He will be playing the whole day. On the other side of it, Joe Mixon is not – he hasn't cleared concussion protocol, and it doesn't look like he will today. There has been very, very little to show that he will be cleared by this afternoon. You can take a hint by Yahoo. They literally just changed their projection to have him at 0. So if you have Samaje Perine, throw him right in there. He should be fine. I have them ranked where I would. I have him at running back 15. So we should be fine there. Washington Commanders, Antonio Gibson looks like he is going to play. So Gibson should be playing. They will be pushing Chase Young a little bit longer. So right now, Chase Young should be fine. Or sorry, he's not going to play. Sorry, they're going to push him just another week. So he won't be playing today. Josh Jacobs with his calf. It will be a pregame. He is a game time decision. They are optimistic that he will play. So I'm not really worried, but make sure you have Zamir White just in case if he doesn't. These games are at 4:00, so you're going to need some type of backup for all of these guys. Darius Slayton and Kenny Golladay are both dealing with an illness. They are both expected to play today right here at MetLife, so they should be good to go. Jerry Jeudy is actually expected to play today. They are optimistic that he plays today, just pending a pregame warmup, so he should be on the field. So is Cortland Sutton. He has been dealing with an illness. He should be playing as well. So Russell might actually have weapons to throw to. Other than that, that's all the real big news that we have today. We got Derpy in. What's going on, Derpy? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. I will be able to answer this question a little bit later, but he said, we know anything about Zay Jones? No. He's been listed as questionable. They haven't really said anything about, is expected to play or optimistic that he plays or anything. I haven't heard anything like that from anybody at this point. So I'm expecting he plays. He was limited all week. I think he should be fine. Usually, if you can get a limited session in all week, you're fine. It's his chest, so just be cautious. But I'm playing him in one league, and I think I'm going to be completely fine with doing that. Jonathan Smith goes, for the first time since week 1, I actually enjoy my wide receiver options this week. Yeah, I keep having issues throughout my one team. He keeps saying, I'm in love with the schedule this week. Giants, Commanders, Finns, Niners, Chiefs, Bengals. Yeah, great slate of games this week. So, Golladay playing or just wearing a jersey on the sideline? Probably just wearing a jersey on the sideline. He'll be in uniform, so he will be there. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I don't think he's had a catch in the last few weeks. They're just keeping it on the sideline. If they have an injury, they have him. They don't really have many other people, so I can understand why they have him today. So we will find out how we're going to be doing there. There hasn't been a ton of news this morning about a lot of people. Like I said, Jamar Chase is the only guy that I've seen that they have stated that he is going to be a full go today. That's good news for him. Yeah, they said that Chase Young is going to out. I guess one big bit of news is Jameson Williams from the Detroit Lions is looking to make his debut today. They're going to ease him in. He shouldn't really be playing a ton. They're probably going to only give him a few snaps, but his few snaps could be a lot. So we'll have to wait and see. Derpy goes, all right, I'm starting at the moment. You're starting Deshaun Watson, Jamal Williams, Nick Chubb, St. Brown, Wilson, Everett, Jones, McPherson, and Dallas. Nice. You have a good group of guys right there. That's a pretty solid team. I'm lower on Deshaun than most, but it's more because coming back after 700 days, you're going to be rusty. He should have his floor should be okay, but if you're expecting what he used to do, I wouldn't. New group of people, new group of everything. And on top of that, hasn't played football in a while. I think his mind is going to be in a million places today. So it's also the mental aspect. So just keep that in mind. But if you're playing him, I'm assuming you don't really have better options, behind him. And that is understandable. What up, Albert? How you doing, brother? Hope everything's going well for you. So Jonathan Smith goes, do you like Kirk, Kenneth Walker, or ETN? I know the running backs are usually the play in PPR, but I feel like the Jags game is going to be a shootout. I don't disagree with you. I do think that too. I do think that game is going to be an interesting one, to be honest. I'm excited to see how that game works out. I think Kenneth Walker is probably my favorite play out of those. Right now, where are they? Yeah, they're facing the Rams without Aaron Donald. I just feel more comfortable with that. ETN, I'm a little nervous about. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't play him, just a little nervous about him. So for me, I feel a little bit more comfortable with Kenneth Walker in that scenario. And I've told you guys 100 times with flex, I feel more comfortable with the running back that's guaranteed the touch. Unless you're in the top 10 in PPR where you're getting at least 10 targets a game, then I would be a little bit more inclined. But Kirk isn't in that particular conversation. He is wide receiver 10. Wide receiver 10 on the year. So, I mean, he's not doing horrible. Jonathan goes, do you like Donovan Peoples-Jones with Watson at quarterback? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Donovan Peoples been doing good. That's what kills me about this whole offense now is Watson kind of puts a little bit of uncertainty with what's going on here. And to be honest, it's one of those things where I think Jacoby was running it just fine, but it definitely changes your view on how things will run. This is definitely a better group of weapons he has in general that he's had in the past. With the Texans, this is definitely a better line, definitely better wide receivers for the most part. I mean, he played with a few decent guys with DeAndre Hopkins, of course, but not really a good supporting cast otherwise. So, and they can lean on Nick Chubb. So they could just, try to keep the pressure off of him a little bit. This is his first game back. So maybe they tell him, like, dude, like, don't do too much. Just hand the ball. Like, worst run defense in the league that you're facing. So I'm pretty good with them probably just running the ball a little more and keeping it off his hands. Green Arrow, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this, or make sure you like if you're in here talking, you're subscribed. So thank you for your sub. He goes, pick one to start. PPR. We got Bam Knight. Good old Bam versus the Vikings. Jeff Wilson versus the 49ers. Latavius Murray versus the Ravens. Currently leaning Bam. And it's Xavier Knight. Not Devon. So, I mean, Jeff Wilson is probably Jeff Wilson has the toughest matchup. Let's say that. He's the better one in the context. He'll probably get more carries, even though it might be a little pass heavy in that particular matchup. I think the Niners are just overall a great defense. Latavius Murray going against the Ravens. It's not a horrible matchup. It really isn't. It's just, and he's the only one there. Mike Boone might be active and available. So for me, yeah, I mean, Knight's going to be sharing the backfield with James Robinson most likely, and in this case, Ty Johnson as well. Ty Johnson's more of a PPR option compared to Knight. So I'd probably lean Wilson a little bit. I mean, in my rankings, I have Jeff Wilson a lot higher. I have him at 22. I have Latavius Murray at 29, and I have Knight at 31. So I would probably lean on Wilson, even though it's a tougher matchup. But for me, it feels, and I'm not using the revenge game narrative. I hate using that unless I have to. To be completely honest, today is a day of revenge games for a lot of people. That Jags game alone has like 4 people in it that are, it's a revenge game. We'll talk about that part of it a little bit later. Jeff Wilson, this is a big game for them as well. I don't think they lean on the run. I think they might pass it out a little bit because, 49ers are weakest against the pass. So I think they'll probably try to go that route, but we'll see. Mike McDaniels knows that team pretty well. So we'll have to wait and see. Just got news a few minutes ago about Deebo Samuel is reportedly a go for the 49ers. So Deebo is good to go. So just make sure you guys are aware of that. Tony Clark goes, I'm back. Had to take Njoku out. Yeah, Njoku is out today. Harrison Bryant should be taking the first team reps. He's not a horrible option. He will be someone that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. Jonathan Smith goes, moving forward, do you think it will hurt the running backs more? So Hunt then Chubb with how much Watson has the ability to pass. I don't know if it hurts them. I think I think that he'll lean on them a little more in the beginning. So this week, next week, maybe the week after, he might lean on them a little bit just because the short intermediate passes are what's going to help him grow. he's got to get used to the whole speed of the game again. He's been out for a while. Like, I have to make this very clear. He's been out for a long time. So just make sure you're aware that it's going to take him a minute to get in those deep throws. He might, he might take one or two, but I don't see him going real. I don't see them just blow. Like, I just don't see it. So for me, it's one of those things where I'm kind of leaning back on him a little bit and seeing what happens. But I don't think it affects the running backs as much as you might think. I think if anything, it helps, just because the RPO aspect of it, he's a lot better of a runner than people give him credit for. And I think that teams are going to have to, figure that out. Jacoby Brissett can run the ball, but not as good as Watson. Watson's a little bit more shifty when he runs. So Derpy. Actually, I have better options than him. Just taking a risk this week on Deshaun. My question for my bench with the options I have of Burrow, Fields, Gibson, Allen, Boyd, Judy. What should I do at running back? Well, to be completely honest, if you have Joe Burrow, I'd be playing Burrow over Watson. Like, there's very little I would be playing. Like, honestly, I have Deshaun Watson ranked at QB 11. I'm a little lower than most consensus, but I have Joe Burrow at QB 4. He's going against Kansas City. Kansas City has been very, very helpful to QBs lately. So for me, I would prefer to go with the guy that is more trustworthy. In my case, that's Burrow. And that game alone, if I looked at the numbers, their over-under for this game is 53. So Vegas expects a lot of points. I'm sticking with Burrow if you have him as your option. As it goes for wide receiver, you have Allen, Boyd, and Judy. If you only need two, I would probably that's tough. I don't know how I feel about Boyd. Allen, you're playing. Judy, right now, he looks like he's good to go. The matchup is okay for him today. They're only going, where are they going? Where is Denver? They're going against the Ravens. Ravens have been very good against the pass. Or, sorry, not very good. They've been very bad against the pass. It's been a good matchup. So for me, I think I'm going to lean Allen and Judy, even though he's coming off the injury. But Boyd is okay. Judy is a higher ceiling. Boyd is a safer floor. So if you want someone that is a safer floor, I would go with Boyd. Ceiling, if you need like that big play, I would go with Judy. It's really based on who you're facing and things like that. Like if you're 8-4 and you're facing the 3-5 and you're projected to beat them by like 30, then yeah, maybe you go with Boyd here. But if you need a little bit more and it's a tough matchup, you're facing, a team to get into the playoffs or, to go that one seat, I would maybe go Judy. Mr. Tony Clark going, I am predicting 16 fantasy points for Logan Thomas this week. Just hating on my Giants, but I agree with you. Unfortunately, Giants are very, very bad against the tight end. Unfortunately, Perry Williams in the house. What's going on, Perry? Hope all is well. Glad to see you here today. I see you have a few tight end questions for me. Tony Clark goes Jamal Williams or Tony Pollard, full PPR. I really don't want to bench touchdown machine Williams. Yeah, man, that guy's been on fire. That's a good toss-up right there. I probably have Jamal listed higher in my rankings. Where is he? Actually, no, I have Pollard at 14, and I have Jamal at 22. Jacksonville, they're good, but I think that they're going to focus on the run. Let them, let Jared Goff beat him with his arm, which he probably could, but it's one of those they might force him to throw a little bit. But I like Tony Pollard in general, even with Zeke back. Perry goes Dulcich, Hayden Hurst, Kmet, or Ingram. Damn, I don't know why you're holding so many tight ends. For me, it's Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is the best option here. I like Evan Ingram as well. So for me, it's Hurst. Yeah, Hurst, Ingram, Kmet, Dulcich. That's my My guess. We have the Browns, Commanders, or the Steelers. Perry William asking about his defense. For me, I'm gonna go with the Browns. Like that's just, you know, it's either Browns or Steelers. And to be honest, I like the Browns more. Commanders, you could go with probably too, but I like the Browns more against Houston. So Tony Smith goes a bit of a two-part question, but first, would you play Garrett Wilson or Keenan Allen? And then the loser of those two, would you play that person or ETN? Okay. Um, Actually, I like both Keenan and Garrett Wilson today. Um, Detroit's been decent against the run. ETN is not really used in PPR that much. He gets the one pass or two. They've been using Hasty more as a PPR option. Garrett Wilson's coming into his own. I think he has a good matchup against the Vikings today. He's going to probably see a lot of Patrick Peterson. Keenan Allen is a good play against the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders have been horrible. They've been easing him in a little bit. The scare is the injury, of course, him re-aggravating. So you have to be careful. Garrett Wilson, I'd probably take over it, but I like both these guys. They're both good PPR options, but ETN's been on fire. I'd rather have him. So for me, you guys ask really good questions here, to be honest. I have Garrett Wilson at 17, Keenan Allen at 13. I think I'm going to go Keenan Allen here with ETN. I do like Garrett, but I think I'm going to go Keenan Allen and ETN. Perry goes flex to Devontae Smith, Jamal Williams, Mostert, DJ Moore. DJ Moore's out this week, so he's automatically out of my thing. Treylon Burks or ETN, but he's banged up. He's banged up, but he's playing. They said he's fine. I saw him in practice. He looks fine. I usually lean if it's flex, I'm going to lean more towards the running back. I do like Jamal in this particular matchup. Jamal is fine. And my next option would probably be ETN. So Jamal and ETN. Play your studs. Don't overthink these decisions. Devontae Smith is a good play today as well. I do think he should do fine, but I do like Jamal and ETN a little bit better, more guaranteed a touch. So Jonathan Smith says, play Boyd this week. Whenever I bench him, he goes off. So if you have Boyd, play him. Yeah, I'm in a situation like that too. Perry goes, Hurst even with Chase back. Yeah, I think if anything, it draws less cover. It's just one less person to guard Hurst. I understand the thought process that if he's out there, it kind of hinders him a little bit. But I do like him. If you don't think that that's the case, if you think that the team or the Chiefs will kind of cover him a little bit more, I think Ingram might be the better choice. But for me, it's between Hurst and Ingram for me. If you were to pick a tight end, those are my two guys that I like there. So Jonathan goes, so I've had Jameson Williams on my IR, but I also have Amon St. Brown. So is there a way in the future that I pick both, or should I look for another option on waivers? All right, I'm lower than most on Jameson Williams. I just don't see it. The guy's an inline runner. He's more of a 9 route. I'm trying to compare. He's like Sean Jackson in his prime in that context. Like he's that downfield stretcher, fast, but of course he's coming off ACL injury, so hopefully he still has the speed that he did. And if that's the case, then yeah, he's a great play. But having them both, I like Amon a little bit better just because he's more of a possession guy, and he's better for PPR than Jameson would be. And that's just my opinion. I do think Amon is a better choice. I think the team is going to be well rounded. He's also a little my whole thing with running back or with wide receiver, unless you're 6'2", 225, it's hard for me to like you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just their outcomes are less just because they are more prone to being injured because of their size. I mean, this is a big man's game, and there's a lot of big guys playing outside. He's a small dude. I mean, well, sort of small. I mean, I think he's 6'1", 185 or something like that. But those guys I don't really trust that much. I prefer, Amaz small, but he's kind of compact, if that makes sense. And he's a built dude. So I don't know. I like him a little more. I'm not really a big deep threat guy. I prefer the possession guy 90% of the time. Just I don't know. Works better for me, and I rather get the guarantee than the unknown. When you're a deep ball guy, everything is unknown. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I like both. I mean, and it's also this year. If you're worrying about this year and if he'll be used, I mean, I don't know how much he'll be used. It's week 13. They got 4 weeks left in the season. Detroit isn't out of it yet. I mean, Detroit is 4-7. They're fighting their way in. They're I think last place in their division, right? No, they're third in their division. So, I mean, they have a chance at doing okay. I don't know. If they're in it, they're going to use them. But for the fantasy season, I don't see him being relevant. Keep him for today. Keep him for today. See what they do with him. They're going to ease him in. And if he could get 3 catches for 100 yards for all we know. Maybe a touchdown. First game back. So it's definitely possible. It's just one of those things where until I see it, I'm not gonna invest on him in my future. I'm just gonna keep him on my bench or on my IR, not make any other moves, just leave him there because most scenarios, if he's on your IR, you can't make any other moves. So for me, I'd rather just keep him right there and see what happens. So that's just me. So we are 3 minutes away from actives and inactives. We're going to be doing that in a second. Let me just talk about some of our wonderful affiliates that you can listen to as well as myself. Make sure you guys check out Cody McGoats and the Checkdown podcast. They stream every Wednesday night at 5:30 Eastern, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, right here on Get Right. But also make sure you guys sub to their show. All the links are in the description for all these guys, including Colin at WAGMIfantasy.com. He has great articles and a website with rankings and also his audio podcast. Make sure you guys sign up for his Winning with WAGMI newsletter as well. It comes out every week and a very big help to all those out there. Make sure you check out the Fantasy Frontline with hosts Tim and AJ. They at least once a week, every time. Make sure you guys check out their YouTube channel and Twitter. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. All the links are below, so make sure you guys do that as well. Make sure you guys check out our sponsors right up here at underdogfantasy.com. And make sure when you do and you sign up, make sure you use the promo code GETRIGHT. And when you do, you will get your deposit matched at 100% up to $100. So make sure you guys check them out as well. They do pick them with insurance. They do over-unders, rivalry picks. They do all different types of things, not just football. They do a little bit of everything as well. So check them out using that promo code as well. Make sure you also check out our sponsors, and we had them in the beginning with the commercial. Check out TrophySmack.com. We're coming to the end of the season. You might be looking to get new and better things for your particular league. Maybe you want to get a ring. Customize it any way that you want. Maybe you want a trophy. Maybe you want to look like Kirk Cousins and wear a chain. Or you want to get that custom belt, all made from great quality, solid materials. Just make sure you guys check them out. TrophySmack.com. Great guys, great site. Tony Clark, since finding out you're a Giants fan, I got a channel you need to check out. My Big Blue in the Bronx. Okay, I'll check them out, actually. I do watch a lot of different guys for Giants news. They're all over the place, so I will check them out. I get a lot of info from a lot of different people. Pat Leonard is probably one of the biggest ones that I follow. Who's the other one? Patricia, I forgot her last name. Patricia Termit, or I don't know. I forgot. I hate when I can't pronounce the last name that I just can't I can't remember. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Patrick Leonard if you really want anything. All right, actives and inactives are just rolling in here and there. The Commanders have declared Chase Young out today. He will be out. Tryon Turner is going to be out as well. That's big news for their guards. Looks like the Titans will be without Denika. Wow. Altry. He will be out today. Panthers just put out, or sorry, the Jaguars just put out their particular inactives, and I don't see Zay Jones. So Zay Jones will be playing today. They have Darrell Henderson. He will be inactive today. So thankfully, we see that Zay Jones is good to go. Jerry Jeudy is active today. So Jerry Jeudy will be active today. So make sure you put him in your lineup. It doesn't look like, from what I can see, that Jerry Jeudy is, or that Cortland Sutton is inactive. So he should be good to go. Ronnie Stanley is inactive, the left tackle for the Ravens. That's kind of significant for the Raiders. He's been limited in practice for the last few weeks. He can't seem to get out of there. But Ronnie Stanley is one, he's a Pro Bowl left tackle. He hasn't played a lot this season. That's a big hit for Lamar Jackson. Inactives for the Jets. It looks like Michael Carter will be inactive, of course. Zach Wilson as well. Don't see anything significant there. Ravens inactives. They have Mike Davis inactive. I don't see anybody else. Looks like Jameson Williams is active, so he will be active for today's game. We already know about the Chase Young. Antonio Gibson is active today, so he should be good to go. Oh, okay. So it looks like Kenny Golladay will not be playing today. He woke up feeling worse today than yesterday, and now he won't play. And illness has made him inactive. So does that really matter? He hasn't been playing all year. I hate when I do that. When there's too many, I get too many notifications at once, and I threw one away that was important. Yeah, it looks like from Sleeper, they said that Mixon highly unlikely to play today. I'm going to stick with that. It looks like he will not be playing, but make sure you guys keep an eye on the actives and inactives at around 3:00 today. Looks like Eagles will be without Robert Quinn, as we suspected. Trey Sherman, I forgot he was there. Texans running back Eno Benjamin and wide receiver Amari Rodgers are active today. They are down Brandon Cooks and Rex Burkhead. Just got another report that Debo will be playing today, so Debo will be activated today, which he should be fine. Despite being limited, it looks like TJ Watt will play today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers will be without no one of significance that anyone would care about. It looks like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton will be active today, as well as Travis Etienne, Zay Jones, Darius Slayton, Antonio Gibson. All those guys will be active. Michael Carter, Altry, and Chase Young will be inactive as per Field Yates. So be aware of that. Guys, all over the place. He's on his show and tweeting at the same time. How do you do that? So you already talked to me about that. So Albert goes Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. I like Trevor Lawrence today. And yes, Joe Mixon is going to be out today. Just assume he's out. I haven't seen everything I keep hearing is he's out, or highly unlikely. When you hear highly unlikely, automatic, he's out. I don't see him playing. They don't seem optimistic. I'm assuming Samaje plays today. So looks like Samaje Perine. Trevor Lawrence in this case, I think I'm going to lean Trevor Lawrence. I'm just unsure about Justin Fields. He will play today. A lot of people keep saying if he plays, you play him. I just don't know how I feel about it. He takes one hit, he's done. And he's a runner. And it changes his whole game. If he's a passer, he's 180 and a touchdown. Like, he's not a runner. He's not a passer. He's a runner. That's what made him fantasy relevant. In this case, Trevor Lawrence, I think, is a better QB. He is a better in-the-pocket guy. So if you're going to put them both in a scenario where they're both in the pocket, Trevor Lawrence all day long. But Justin Fields, I just don't trust today. I really don't. So I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people disagree with that, but also rank Brady, Tua, and Dak. Interesting. So I have Dak Prescott at 8. I have Tua at 7, and I have Brady at 13. So for me, Brady is out the door. I'm not going to play Brady anywhere. I'm not a big Brady fan in general. So for me, it's Tua or Dak. It's who you like better. To me, I think Dak is in a better situation. Colts are beat up. Kenny Moore, their best corner, out today. I like Dak a smidge better. Tua just, they throw the ball, a lot. And I don't know. I have him a little bit higher. But for now, Dak, I think, is probably the better play. And I hate saying that. It hurts my soul. Trevor Lawrence or Kirk Cousins today. I have Trevor at 8. I have Trevor at 10, Kirk Cousins at 17. Jets defense is legit. Not saying that they're going to shut them down. Excuse me. It's not a primetime game. We all know Kirk Cousins, primetime game. But for me, Trevor Lawrence, man, I like the game today. I like the matchup. I think, we're, as you see when we do our particular DFS slate, you're going to see that a lot of people that I'm picking today are in that game. It's a 51 over under. It's only gone up. It's, 51 points as of right now. I'm going to actually refresh my screen and double check to see if this has gone up or down. And it's nope, right at 51. So for me, I feel like Trevor Lawrence is the better play today. Jonah goes, I'm seeing a lot of people fading to it today with 2 tackles out. That's the other reason. I didn't even think of that. Tyron is out and their other tackle out as well. I'm just leaning Dak a little bit more just because he has a better scenario, better defense he's facing. So I'm going to go with that. Sorry, just getting a ridiculous amount of actives and inactives. That Packers game should be good. It looks like Romeo Doubs won't play today, so Christian Watson should be fine to go. Just looking at any more actives and inactives that might be popping up. They always funnel in at one point from guys that didn't answer. So, yeah, we already knew that. Other than that, yeah, that's all we got. So I'm going to move right into, hold on, Justin Fields is active, which, thank you. Like, no one brought his name up at all this week. He's been kind of under the radar. All right. So what I'm going to do is bring up my DFS value picks. So we're going to go right into DFS and start talking some DFS value picks for you guys. These are guys that I'm looking at lower prices. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be picking guys that are higher or anything like that. All I'm trying to suggest is that these guys have some value that you can use a little bit later. They save you a little bit of money and still get you a decent amount of points that you can use your higher paid players. And to be honest, there's a lot. So Tony Clark goes, no big sports bets this week, but I did put 2,500 on the Texans to upset the Browns. If they cover, I double my money. And if they pull the upset, I get 12 grand. Hey, man, I could always use some money. So if I'm only kidding. Hey, man, I actually don't mind this at all. I actually think the Texans have a good chance to win today, even though I have Browns for like my DFS and all that, or not my DFS, my DST and in redraft and all that. So I get it, but without Brandon Cooks, without a lot of options, I do think that they're going to struggle a little bit. I do think the Browns pass rush is pretty significant. And I think that they're going to give Kyle Allen a little bit of hell. Kyle Allen is very bad, very bad. I think Davis Mills is way better, but that's just me. All right, first we're going to start with the quarterbacks at, right now you see all these guys up at the top. These are the top options here. Patrick Mahomes at 900 or 9,000. And once again, we are using FanDuel. So I'm using FanDuel. This is much different from DraftKings. DraftKings tends to go on a lower salary count compared to FanDuel. But for this, we do have, these are the top options: Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and our good friend right here, Deshaun Watson. For me, out of these guys, I'd probably go with Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow. I think both of these are good options if you're looking to play with one of them today. But if you want to get some value on your pick, I think Trevor Lawrence is probably the best choice here at $7,500. This game, like I said, 51-point over-under. I do think he does well. The Detroit Lions struggle against the pass. As you can see, they are 32nd against the pass. I do think this is a good matchup for Trevor Lawrence. Another option that you might want to look at, if you want to go a little bit lower and you want to spend down, Mike White is not a horrible option. Minnesota can be beat in the air, and he played very well last week, $6,900. If he can play that well in that type of weather, only imagine where he can play when he's in a dome. Let's just put it out there. Next is Jared Goff in that same matchup against the Jags. I mean, 25th against. He's the one a little bit lower on my choice of options, to be completely honest. The Jags pass rush is very good. So he might be. I would probably go with Kenny Pickett. He's my other one at $6,700 against Atlanta, one of the worst teams against the pass. Honestly, I like Pickett a little more than Goff, but these two are very good, very well priced considering where they are. So Tony Clark goes, how much is Bam Knight for the Jets at running back? So he is actually at 5,800 for FanDuel, and he's one of the guys we're going to be talking about. So let's just move right along to the running backs. So we're going to go running backs here. And as you can see, these are the top options: Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. Now, no Joe Mixon. I would not include him in any of your matchups. Christian McCaffrey, the lowest one here, which is actually really good value for him considering. He might be a decent play today considering, even with his knee injury. Another guy, Kenny Walker, as well. These are lower high-end options if you're looking for it. We know Travis Etienne will play. But if you want to spend down a little bit, let's get some value. I would go down to the 700 range and go with David Montgomery. They're going to lean on him a little bit today to take some pressure off Justin Fields. They are one of the highest run rate teams in the league, going against one of the worst run defenses in the league because they have lost a lot of key options. $7,000 is not a bad choice. I like him here. So David Montgomery is one of those choices. The next pick is Brian Robinson. I know that Antonio Gibson is there, but for me, I'm just not a fan. I think that Brian Robinson is the clear better back. 6,600 against the Giants, not a horrible option. Dameon Pierce, if you really want to play against the contrarian pick in this particular case and thinking if the Texans are going to win, $6,500 is not a horrible price for him, and he's the only guy there. They do have Benjamin, who is active today, like we did say. So just be aware of that. Yeah, it looks like Tyron Armstead will be out today. Just reported 2 seconds ago, so that kind of lowers to a little bit. Another option here is DeAndre Swift. I mean, $6,400. He's only going to be probably getting you 10 to 15 touches, but mostly PPR. Remember, FanDuel does half-point PPR. So FanDuel is half point. So you're basically looking for more touchdown upside compared to PPR options. But he isn't a horrible selection. I mean, honestly, they could use him in the red zone a lot more. I think that's what they've been doing, even though Jamal has been killing it on the 1 yard line. But $6,400, not a horrible price if you want to use somebody. Latavius Murray, I mean, it's only him and Mike Boone that you can find, maybe Marlon Mack. So if you want to use a bunch of retread guys, he's probably the better of the group. He'll get anywhere from 10 to 20 touches a game. $6,400, not a horrible price as well. If you want to spend even lower, the guy that we mentioned before, Bam Knight, right here. He's going to be splitting the backfield with 3 people, though. Remember that. James Robinson is active today. So he will be splitting. They did say they're going to involve him. He's $5,800 against the Minnesota Vikings. That's not horrible at all. Ty Johnson is the PPR option in this case, 5,700. Unless you're in a dire need situation, Ty Johnson does not need to be played. If you really want to take a really, really big dart throw and spend very little money, Kerryon Williams, $5,500 going against the Seattle Seahawks. They're one of the lower ranked teams against the run. I don't mind that play if you're looking to use that. I mean, if we go really low on this chart, I was trying to see where, I think I might have skipped James Robinson already, but I was trying to see what price he's at. Okay, so he's at 6,300. So you actually have to pay up for James Robinson a little bit. So Jonathan Smith goes, okay, Mike, my lineup is Justin Herbert, Xavier, Aaron Jones, Chris Watson, Pickens, Garrett Wilson, Hawkinson, Amon St. Brown, and Baltimore. Not bad. I like all the options. The one thing that I would do is it's always smart to pair your QB with a wide receiver. This is where stacking is very helpful. So we're actually gonna jump right into the wide receivers. And the reason why I do that is, well, I'm gonna go to the flex spot just to kind of give you an idea. So Amon St. Brown here is 8,000. If you can finagle something to go with AJ Brown, I might do that. I'd rather have AJ Brown in this particular matchup. Yes, revenge game. And he's been talking crap all week. So AJ Brown's a better option. I'd rather have him over Brown or over Ahmad, but I'm trying to find a way. So I think instead of Christian Watson, so let's see what Christian Watson is. See, oh, you got to spend up to get Joshua Palmer. So, okay. If you want to leave Amon in, so would you like a Keenan Herbert stack? No, I actually like the Palmer stack. So a lot of times what I like to do, it's based on the scenario and based on the team, but a lot of the times I like taking the second wide receiver of the team. They tend to they get less coverage. Teams tend to focus a little more on the first. Then that means they pass out to the other guy. To me, I mean, I want to try to get Joshua Palmer in over Christian Watson. I understand the game. I understand Rodgers, and I get it. But you paid the same amount for Garrett Wilson. So you can either go Garrett Wilson here or Joshua Palmer, or you can take out Pickens for Joshua Palmer. It's one of those, but honestly, dude, all those guys I like these are all guys I'm going to be mentioning right now. I mean, going through my wide receiver guys, I'm going to do right this moment. If you want to pay up a little bit, Tyler Lockett, not a bad choice against the Rams. I think he's a good play today. If you want to spend down a little bit, 6,800. I mean, pretty much everyone from the 6,800 down to 6,000, I pretty much like. Devontae Smith against the Titans, I like today, $6,800. George Pickens, we already talked about him against Atlanta, 6,700. Brandon Ayuk against the Miami Dolphins, $6,700. Garrett Wilson, $6,600. Joshua Palmer, $6,600. All these guys in this 6,000 range, I love. So I like what you did. Honestly, I do. I love all these guys. What I might do is spend down a little bit on Hawk, so that you can either pay for, AJ Brown instead of Amon St. Brown, or something like that. I mean, if you're going to play Ahmad, then you might as well jump down to Jared Goff and link those two up. or Kenny Pick or go Kenny Pickett and go that and then upgrade, Knight and get someone a little bit better. Aaron Jones, I don't know how I feel about. I would probably I'd probably get a little bit of money and try to go with someone like Kenneth Walker or Christian McCaffrey. So let me break down a couple of my. Actually, you know what? Since you're asking, I'm going to go right to tight ends. Make it easier. I did have a couple of wide receivers I wanted to mention as well. But you got TJ Hawk right here, and he's the third best option here at $6,400. I think you can pay down a little bit and go to Hayden Hurst. And if you really want to pay down, you can go to Evan Ingram at 64 or at 68 or wow, $4,800, or even Jordan Akins. I know that's a weird choice. He's gotten a touchdown the last 2 games. I do like him, and Logan Thomas at 5,000. So honestly, I understand the concept of playing the tight end and playing a higher ranked tight end like the guys like Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, but it limits what you can do below or to your other group of players. I think maybe if you go with a guy like Evan Ingram, you have a little bit more room to play with and a little bit more just in general. I mean, honestly, they haven't been using him a lot, so I'm going to caveat with he's only gotten 2 targets since last week. So he only got 1 catch for, I think, 5 or less than 5 yards. So, I don't want to say he's the best option. I think Jordan Akins has more of an ability to do well today. But Logan Thomas has a good opportunity, a good matchup. These particular ones I don't mind. I'd rather spend down than on my tight end and then be able to beef up this, particular group of guys that you have below. The Baltimore option, I don't mind against the Broncos. I think that's a good pick as well. If you're looking to spend up a little bit on defensive people that I like today, I like Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh against Atlanta. I think that's a big one, especially with TJ Watt playing. I don't mind the Commanders against the Giants if you really want to go that route. I do like the Jets against Minnesota. I think that's going to be a good matchup. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the Baltimore matchup. I think it's the least amount you're going to have to pay with the biggest result. So I think 4,500 is not a bad price. So for me, it's trying to figure out what you want to do with your wide receivers a little bit and your running backs. I don't like Aaron Jones today. Not that I do think the Bears are beatable on the ground. I think that they're going to just pass down. I get it. But I like guys like Kenny Walker and Christian McCaffrey a tad better. I don't mind Saquon Barkley in this matchup. If you can pay up to get Derrick Henry, I would be playing Derrick Henry a lot, or trying to pay up a little bit for Austin Eckler. All these guys at the top I really like. Nick Chubb, Jacobs, Eckler. If you can get one of those in your lineup, that works too. But one of my favorite low plays today for wide receiver, this guy is alone. Finally. And the guy gets 10 targets a game. Nico Collins, $5,800 against Cleveland. I like it. I like that a lot. Marvin Jones is another guy I like too today for the wide receiver. Marvin Jones, this is a revenge game against the Lions. And we all know what happens when Marvin Jones goes off against his former team. $5,600. I actually might do this in a few leagues. I have one particular matchup that I did that's Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and who was the other one? Oh, and AJ Brown. I tried to do the full revenge game narrative for everybody. So play around with it. Anthony in the house. What's up, man? No, Mike. He runs more routes than 9. He runs good routes and has been comped to Justin Jefferson. He's 6'1". He's not DeAndre Swift, and at that size, you're talking about. He's been me and him have very different views on Jameson Williams. He's catching up. All right, so Downs Dubs, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Thank you for the sub. We really appreciate it. Make sure you like the video as well. That helps us out in so many ways. So full PPR flex, we're going to go Rashad White, Tony Pollard, or Christian Watson. I'm going to go Tony Pollard. Love Tony Pollard in general. I think he is the better option until further notice. I think the Cowboys have realized how valuable he can be, and I think they're doing all they can to make him available in one way or another. So make sure. Oh, wow. Coach Danble wearing the brand new starter jacket for the Giants. Good for him. I like that. Got that for my dad. Not getting it until after Christmas, but I ordered it in September. Go figure. So Anthony's still talking about Jameson Williams. So this year may be early, so stick with Amon St. Brown if you can. Trade Williams, but remember his name for the next year. In Dynasty, the owners who has him have been dying to see him play. I agree 100%. Jonathan Smith goes, do you like Everett today? I don't hate him today. He just hasn't been doing anything that makes you scream that he's going to be doing well. I think that the Raiders have a decent guy to cover him. But at the same time, I think Everett could be used a little more. So for me, I don't mind him at all. So it looks like you changed up your team a little bit. So I'm at Goff, Kenny Walker with McCaffrey, Nico Collins, Marvin Jones, Waddle, Everett. I don't mind that matchup, actually. I really like that team. I actually like that a lot. Good for you, man. I think you made a pretty good team there. Actually, you know what, Jonathan? Just for that, you know what? I'm gonna put my team together, and I'm gonna use your particular. I think I'm gonna use your thing, if you don't mind. I'm gonna play your particular matchup. I'm gonna play your setup. I like what you did a lot. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make your particular lineup for our for everything. I really do like this particular setup that you have here. So let's set this team up. Let's see how you did here. And honestly, I really like this. I really do. Nico Collins, let's go with that. Let's go with Marvin Jones Jr. here. I like that too. I'm gonna play it. I want to see how this does. I really do, because this I really like a lot. I really do like what you did here. I really do. So let's go with, where's Amon St. Brown? There he is. So St. Brown we got here. And then we go with Pittsburgh. I really like that. I really like this matchup. Look at that. So we're going to play John Smith's lineup today. I think he did a really, really great job on this particular lineup. We go Jared Goff, McCaffrey, Walker, Waddle, Nico Collins, Marvin Jones, Gerald Everett. I'm on St. Brown with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I think that's an awesome lineup. I really like this. I want you to play the other one, though. So get another one in there. Get that same one. Okay, so it looks like Josh Jacobs will play today, so make sure you're aware of that. Josh Jacobs will play today in this matchup, as per Adam Scheffler. They're getting an earlier view, thank God. Nothing on Joe Mixon, but they did say that he is highly unlikely to play. So Anthony doesn't like any tight ends unless they're Andrews or Kelsey. Not a problem. I'm really glad that we can play that. Play both. I want you to know. I want to know how they do. Because to be honest, I like both those matchups, but I really like this lineup. I really think this is a great little, low end group. I really like it. I'm going to play it. That's the value picks right there, where you get to use these value picks to work in your favor. I like it. I like it a lot. Good job there. I really do. Jonathan Smith goes, and I never like any tight ends outside of Kelsey. I honestly, mostly for DFS. DFS tends to have that particular outlook where if you can put either one of those guys in, it is what it is. Yeah, you're a little behind, brother. It's all good. You just woke up. You're catching up. We're, slowly getting there. It's 9 o'clock over there. You guys are getting ready for your game, for the games of the week for you guys. So yeah, those were my value picks. I think that was a great job. I think I left off a couple guys, and Gerald Everett was one of my value picks that I had there. Hey man, we have the difference in opinion about Jameson Williams. So believe me, thought I'd start you off early with that. But yeah, some value picks that I forgot to mention: Tyler Conklin, $5,000. He's not bad. Jordan Akins, I really like. Harrison Bryant also isn't a horrible option if you're looking to use the tight end at a lower price, $4,700. I do really like this this particular matchup, or what Jonathan Smith made. So definitely awake now. So make sure if you guys have any questions left over, please make sure you guys throw them in the chat so we can answer those questions. I am done with my value picks today. We made our lineup because Jonathan Smith helped us out with that one. I really do like that particular grouping. Like I said, there are a ton of revenge games today. DJ Chark going against his former team. Marvin Jones going against his former team. AJ Brown going against his former team. We got a lot of games today that have revenge narratives in them. So just be aware. It's always nice. And a lot of teams and a lot of guys know about it. These people, they're all human beings. They all, have a feeling against their old team or whatever. Sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. But it should be fun to watch. Either way, make sure you guys also check out our affiliates at the Checkdown Podcast with Cody McGoats. Make sure you guys check them out on Wednesdays, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, right here on Get Right Fantasy Network. Also, make sure you guys sub to their channel as well. All the links for these guys are in the description, so make sure you guys check that out. Check out Colin at wagmifantasy.com. Check out his great articles and website, as well as his rankings and his audio podcast. Be sure to sign up with his Winning with WAGMI newsletter. Also, check out the Fantasy Frontline with host Tim and AJ. Check them out on YouTube and on Twitter. They all have their links in the description, so make sure you guys check them out as well. So we got Tony Clark with more. My lineup today, full PPR: Justin Herbert, Jamal Williams, Dalvin Cook, Waddle, Justin Jefferson, Logan Thomas, Zay Jones, Cleveland defense, and Justin Tucker. Sounds like a winner to me. That's a good win. I have a couple lineups that I'm playing with today. Just unfortunately, a lot of moving things around because of Joe Mixon. He's kind of screwed up my lineup the last few weeks, unfortunately. I'm facing Rasta today in our listener league. I got Kirk Cousins going with ETN. Singletary already played. Got Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf, and George Pickens in there as well, with Hayden Hurst as my tight end. Josh Jacobs playing as well, and playing Lamar Jackson in this matchup. I have to wait on a few guys, but I only have a few guys on my bench, just more, Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be Anthony versus me today. Me and Anthony are versing each other today. I'm against the guy, Nick, better known as Worm, that was on here before. Me and him are going to be facing each other today in my Dynasty League. Who am I facing in my other league? I think I'm facing Scanlon, I think. Yeah. Oh no, I'm facing Lucas, Worm's brother, in my other league. And me and Rasta are facing AJ and the Fantasy Frontline today. So we're facing the Fantasy Frontline podcast today. That should be fun. Good matchup for us. We got Joe Burrow, Jamal Williams, Derrick Henry, Deebo Samuel. We already had Gabe Davis play. Dalton Schultz, Zay Jones, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and the Cleveland Browns playing. This league doesn't have an IR spot, so it makes things a little bit more complicated. We have a couple guys, or we have Carter out We are not playing Bam Knight, but we're kind of saving him for a later date. But we have a good matchup today. I have good matchups in my other league as well. So, like I said, we have many things going on. So make sure if you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this thing up a little bit early today. It is my birthday. So I am trying to spend some time with Mrs. Classic, as Anthony likes to say. Try to spend some time with her. I got to go travel today, unfortunately. Got to go to got to go upstate. So need to spend some time with the wonderful wife and enjoy life. So if you guys have any other questions, make sure you guys throw them in the chat, and I will wait a few minutes for you guys to do that. In the meantime, I will promote our other people over here at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code GETRIGHT, and when you do, they will match up to $100 or match you up to 100%, up to $100. So make sure you guys check them out. They are fantastic. I love using them. I use them pretty much every week. Make sure you guys also check out TrophySmack.com as well. They bring you all these wonderful things like their customized rings, their wonderful 26-inch trophy. You got the chain as well and the belt. Who doesn't want one of these? So make sure you guys check them out. Use promo code GETRIGHT at checkout, and they will help you out. Yeah, holy shit, that's right. It's your birthday. Yeah, we're a week apart. From what I keep gathering, we're a week apart. You were on Monday last week. I was today, so we're about a week apart. You share the same birthday as my cousin. I found that out the other day. So you and my cousin have the same birthday, so I can't forget it. So yes, thank you, appreciate it. Excited for a wonderful day of football and then some driving upstate. That should be fun. Not really excited about it, but got to do it anyway. Got to pay the bills, right? So just waiting to see if anyone has any other things they want to talk about or discuss. If you're new to the show, if you're trying to throw a question in and you can't, you got to sub first. We just had that thing turned on. So make sure you guys throw that, make sure you guys subscribe. I think we got 2 or 3 people that came in this afternoon. So I'm going to double check right now. I think we are probably at that point, but we're going to give it a little more. Oh, we're at 599. 599. We need at least 2 more people because it goes back and forth. We want to get above 600 before we give this thing out. So please make sure you subscribe. We're only at 599. We need at least a few more to give away this wonderful, beautiful Gabe Davis jersey. So make sure you guys check us out there. We really want to give this thing away to a listener. You guys have been really supportive, really glad to have everybody here. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for our Gabe Davis giveaway jersey. So make sure you guys are aware and make sure you guys keep those notifications on. Once we hit 600 subscribers, we will do a video. We will have something where you're going to have to look for hashtag and make sure you guys comment on it and all that fun stuff. So make sure you guys are aware of that. What's going on, Mike or Ike? Sorry, Ike Montemare. What's going on? Just subscribe too. Thanks, man. We really appreciate the subscribe. Glad to have you here as we are slowly wrapping it up. Are you number 6? Let's see. Are you 600? Oh, you were probably 599, but I'm glad that you were here either way. Marvin Jones or Joshua Palmer? I have to go with Joshua Palmer. And I honestly like both today, but if it's redraft, I'm going with Joshua Palmer. I really do like him today against the Raiders. It's the great matchup. I love the revenge game narrative. I really do for Marvin Jones. But like I said, let's go with Joshua Palmer here. Hey, Ray W. What's going on, man? As you can see, got the legacy game in the background. I'm here at MetLife Stadium. No, I'm at home. I wish I was there, though. I wish I was there. It's a great looking stadium. Figured I'd have that as my background. Wear my Harry Carson jersey as well. Trying to get the whole 80 vibe going today. But yeah, looking forward to that game for the Giants. Kenny Flint, Kyle Flint, what's going on, man? Glad to have you back. It is pick 3: Amari Cooper, Pickens, Garrett Wilson, or T. Higgins. Very nice. I'm gonna go with Higgins. I'm gonna go with Cooper. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cooper, and I'm gonna go with. Oh wow, Pickens and Garrett Wilson, man. I'm gonna go with Pickens. Gonna go with Pickens here. And even though they haven't really thrown a lot of touchdowns for the Steelers, Atlanta has been giving up a crazy amount to the pass. Garrett Wilson has been playing well. I'm not saying he's not a bad choice, but I do like Garrett. I do like George Pickens in this matchup against the Falcons. So, ew. Ram, sorry. Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, Superflex, second QB. I'm going to have to go with Deshaun in this one. I have Russell at 19. I have Watson at 11. And I don't really like the answer either way. I think Russell is probably the better quarterback in real life here in the context of he's been playing and Watson hasn't. But I do think Watson can have a decent floor for you. So I think Watson is the better choice here. Dolphins revenge game is going to be great. I want a good game. Yeah, man. I mean, it's mostly the running backs here with Mostert and Jeff Wilson. There's really, and then Trent Sherfield I think the third wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. He might be a good dart throw too. But honestly, yeah. Do we trust Amari Cooper in this matchup today, though? Honestly, I don't mind this matchup. Devin Stingley isn't in today for the Houston Texans, so that leaves them short at corner. I understand the hesitancy to play him with Deshaun Watson coming back as his first game back. So I don't disagree with you. I am a little nervous about it, but he's wide receiver 8 on the season. He's a pretty decent he's a pretty decent he's one of my favorite wide receivers. But I'll just throw that out there. To me, then it's Garrett Wilson or Amari Cooper. So do you trust Mike White more than Deshaun Watson? You have 3 quarterbacks that you're picking. Higgins is an automatic. Do it. But you have Deshaun Watson coming off of a 2-year stint of not playing, 700 days, if memory serves me right, going with his number 1 receiver. You have Kenny Pickett with his number 1B receiver and Garrett Wilson as the number 1 with Mike White. So if you like Mike White a little bit more than Deshaun Watson, go for it. I'm fine with you playing a guy like Garrett Wilson over a guy like Amari Cooper. But Cooper is a better overall wide receiver, and I think they're going to lean on the run a little bit. I don't see Watson going crazy. I think he's going to have at least 200 yards. And if he can get at least half that, that's 100. So I think Cooper can have a decent game. I don't think he can have a wonderful game. I think he's going to have I think he has a better floor than Garrett Wilson does. I think Wilson has a higher ceiling. So that's how I view it. But if you had to, like I said, if I had to rank them, it's probably Higgins, Cooper, Pickens, and Wilson. But if you don't like Watson coming in and you like Mike White a little bit better, why not go Pickens, Wilson, and Higgins? I like all 4 of them. I think all 4 can do well. So Ray goes, or I can use Pachenko as a super flex. I might want to use Pachenko, but I don't know, man. Quarterback gives you a little more points in general, so it's kind of hard to not play a guy there. So thanks, man. Thanks for Kyle Flint says, thanks for the advice. Happy you guys are hitting those sub goals. We're almost there. We're right there. We're literally on the verge. We are just one away at this point. We just need two other people. So thank you so much for all you guys do. Thank you for everybody that has been involved and continues to support us. Everybody in this chat, thank you so much. We really do appreciate everything you do. We are here because of you. We really need your help. And that's what, we're here. Yeah. So we can't get super chat yet because we need to be over 1,000. So we're slowly reaching our goals with that. It takes about, unless we're, the new craze, which, a lot of people tend, it takes a minute and we haven't gone viral or anything. So we have to take a little bit of time to get up there. For a lot of podcasts that have started, it takes them about 3 years to get to that point. So we already know that that's kind of a goal we have to get to. But once we get the super chat, we'll, this will be, that's what we're aiming for. So we want to get there. Little things along the way. We're trying to do these little giveaways to, help get a little bit more. So thanks, Ray. I will go out door to door for you. Let's sub. Hey, man, go door to door. Tell your friends. Please spread the word. We are here every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm here every Sunday morning to give you guys a, morning show before we start. I always do my actives and inactives. I try to do DFS value picks for you guys to help you with DFS plays. Monday, we kind of go over everything that happened on the week or, that happened on Sunday. We react, overreact, all that stuff. Give you guys advice on some injuries as well as some waiver wire picks to pick up on Tuesday, Wednesday, so that you guys have your team to help you get to your playoffs. Wednesday, we kind of help you with that as well, setting up your teams or, making better picks if you picked up a waiver pick or something like that. We try to get, it's more question and answer to try to help you. We're kind of past the roster construction because a lot of teams are past their trade deadline. So there's not really much to go with trades. It's more kind of a general conversation on how to set up your team. Then on Friday, we do start sick and full game breakdowns to give you guys a better perspective. We have a lot of injury news that we go over on Fridays as well, so that we can get you guys ready for the beginning of the week. And then I'm back here on Sunday again to help you right before the show. So make sure you guys check us out. Yeah, we're one away. We're one away. We just need that one person, but I really want two. I want two people. I want 2 or 3 people. I want to get over that 600 mark. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to a point where I see 600 and then all of a sudden 2 days later I'm at 597. I want to see this thing go a little bit. So we want to give ourselves a little bit of a cushion so that we're over 600. So just be aware of that too. Ray goes, should I trust Debo or keep Palmer full PPR? Ooh, that's a tough one. That is probably one of the toughest questions I've gotten today. It's a thigh bruise. So it unless something happens pregame warm-up, he will be out. But they keep saying that he is good to go regardless. So he should be okay. Miami, decent matchup. Not a horrible matchup for him. I like Palmer a lot, though. I really do. I think Palmer's a great play. Let me revert to my rankings real quick. I have Debo at 20. I got Debo at 20 and Joshua Palmer at, where is he? And I have Palmer at 34. Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I think I'm going to have to stick to my rankings here and go Debo. I mean, Debo, but I really do like Palmer a lot. I really do. Palmer is such a good option. He really is. You can't go wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. I think Palmer has the better matchup. I'm going to rank him lower just because of the cons. Like Debo is just, you can't rank him lower than a certain point. But Palmer, I think, can have a really good game. I might even move Palmer up a little bit. Yeah, I'm moving him up to like 25. Actually, I'll move him above Zay Jones, 24. So, yeah. Yep. Boom. Boom. Alex Shup, what's up? Or Shoop. My bad. I'm really bad at last names unless your name is Smith. But thanks for subbing. We really do appreciate it. You might be 600 if I look on it. So thank you. Oh, you are 600. Alex, thank you so much for getting us to 600. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys stay tuned and like our show and continue to follow us. We are giving away at 600 subscribers, which we are at now, but we're going to wait until we're over that hump to give away a signed Gabriel Davis jersey. So make sure you guys keep your notifications on. We will post a video for you guys as well to make sure, we give this thing away. So make sure you guys keep those notifications on. I'm just letting you know. All right. So he goes, Rachaad White, Tony Pollard, or Mike Pittman, full PPR flex. Tony Pollard. I like Tony Pollard here, man. I really do. I mean, I got Tony Pollard ranked at running back 14. I have him higher than Ezekiel Elliott at 19. I have Rachaad White at 14. And Pittman for a wide receiver, I have him pretty decently low. I have Michael Pittman I have him at 33 for a wide receiver. So I'm going to go with Pollard. He is definitely the better choice. I do like it as well. So yes, Alex is 600. We'll drop the giveaway video next week. Yes, have those notifications on. Thanks, man, so much to the Get Right and all the new subscribers. We appreciate y'all more than you know. So thank you so much. Cadillac, what up? How you doing, man? Hope all is well. Even with Lamb as starting wide receiver, you have... Yeah, I'm okay with that particular scenario. That game right now it's 44 over under. It's Dallas is favored by 10.5. If they're up, they're going to run the ball and or dump it off to him and or pass the ball. Kenny Moore is out. I feel comfortable with that matchup. So you can definitely play both, and I think both can be productive, even though Lamb has kind of been underproductive lately because they've been literally leaning on the run game. So I do think that you'll be fine. So don't stress. I think both are more than playable today. Ray W goes, Geno Smith. Not a problem, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you in anything that you need. We're here to help you like I said, we're here every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So check us out. I'll be back next Sunday. Maybe not Friday. I'll talk to Ann about that in a little bit. But I'll be around to help you guys try to get you guys any advice you need. So we got Dino or Dak from Ray. I have Dak and Geno at 8 and 9. So I do like Dak a little bit more. Geno has a good matchup against the beat up Rams. So I like both, man. Flip a coin. I think it's more I think I'm going to lean Geno a little bit more just because, even though I have Geno at 9 and Dak at 8, I might lean Geno. He's just been on fire lately. Cadillac goes, do you think Deebo Samuel plays? Yes, I do. All the reports say that he is good to go. I'm going to double check. So Josh Jacobs will play today, as we just heard. There was a report before. Can't find it, but they said, let me just double check my reports. It said, where is it? Sorry, just trying to find the report for Deebo so you guys can hear it. I read it. I think it happened right before the actives and inactives started rolling in. There we go. So as per David Lombardi, who is one of their beat writers, is Deebo Samuel is reportedly a go for the 49ers today. He will be on Trent Williams' watch now, although Shanahan has felt good about him playing. So Trent Williams should be good too. Also know that game is it's going to be a little bit wet there. It's going to be a wet, kind of windy day. Not going to say that it's going to affect anything because it really shouldn't. And we saw what happened in the Jets game. Shouldn't really affect passing too much. I think that game should be fine. So just be aware. It's just something to monitor. I don't think it's anything crazy, but thank you so much for everybody. We're going to start wrapping this thing up, get everything going so that I can get ready for the games. Unless you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat now. I'm just going to do a quick read of everything before we get going so that we can promote some of our people. Like I said, the Check Down podcast with Cody McGoats and the crew. Make sure you guys check them out at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, right here on Get Right, as well as subbing to their channel. Make sure you guys check out the link in the description. We have everything there for you as well. Make sure you guys check out WAGMI Fantasy with Colin over at wagmifantasy.com. Great articles, website, and rankings as well. He also has an audio podcast for you to listen to. Be sure to sign up for his Winning with WAGMI newsletter. Comes out every week. Great advice. Really love Colin over there doing great things. Check out AJ and Tim as well on our on their YouTube channel and on Twitter. So make sure you guys check them out. All their links and descriptions are in the description below. So make sure you guys check them out as well. All right. So Ray goes, I put in Debo over Palmer. However, I can put Palmer in over Olave. I don't know if I could do that. I like Olave. I think I have Olave ranked higher. I have Olave at 19 and I have Palmer at 24. And I have Olave ranked above Debo. So I do like that matchup for him. I think they're going to have to pass it. And he's just been on fire lately. I really do like that matchup. So Chris Olave is a very good play this week. You're overloaded with talent, my friend. That's all I can say. It's like it's not a bad thing to have a little bit more talent than most. It's just it can also be a curse because you're trying to figure out who's the best person to play. So I can completely understand how you feel. So, all right, boys and girls, make sure you guys check us out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week, as well as next Sunday. I will be right back here with you guys to help you guys with your lineup. Make sure you guys check out our affiliates over at Underdog Fantasy using our promo code Get Right, as well as TrophySmack.com. Do not forget to use those promo code Get Right so that they can help you at checkout. So make sure you guys have a wonderful week 13. Make sure I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Be safe out there, and we will see you guys next week. Oh, technically this week. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Enjoy week 13. Later, everybody.